come into a nice cross-legged seated position. Then we'll inhale, bring the arms all the way around us. Exhaling out through the nose, bringing the hands here down towards heart center. We'll send the arms up the way we came. And then like we're swimming through the air, opening outwards. We'll do one more of these with the arms. We'll take it into a lateral stretch. So inhale, lift up and over. And then the other way. Keep breathing as you move with this seated flow. We'll do one more each side. And then coming back to center, we'll consider the hips. So hands on the tops of the thighs, and then making some hypnotic circles here, warming up underneath the glutes and into the hamstring area. Close your eyes if you want to keep the lovely breath work going. Letting these knees work down to the floor, so I'm not forcing with my hands, just gently working into it. And then changing direction for some circles the other way. Coming up to a seated position and then working into Janu legs, Janusasana. So we've got one leg out straight and the other in towards our center, flexing the foot. Take the shoulders towards the big toe, a little wriggle, check you're both on both sit bones, and then just feel the stretch into the hamstring and calf. By flexing the foot, you'll get more of the calf, and you might be able to take hold of the edge of the foot, but just don't compromise through your mid-back. So just check that you're happy with your long spine and the hinge is happening from your hips. Let's breathe here for another 3 to 4. And then we'll take a twist over the bent leg. So sitting nice and upright, opposite arm to knee. We open the back shoulder. We take our gaze to this other point in the room. We breathe for about 3. And then coming back to center with shoulders over knees, taking a goalpost shape, engaging between the shoulder blades, and then working this elbow down towards the knee or on the inner side of the knee as we open the chest some more. And then we can work this arm up and over and then back. So finding our own range. Take your time. And then like a reverse warrior, planting this hand behind us and then sweeping this arm up towards the ceiling, looking up for a new perspective, checking we're not rolling on the shoulder at all. We're nice and stabilized, pushing up through the hand. Nice posture, opening through the chest here. And then we can bring that arm down and fold this leg back in towards us. Taking hands to the floor, palms facing downwards, and then just working here. You might be able to get elbows into the sides of the knees to open up the hip space some more, and you might even be able to do both arms down on the floor with head here to wrists. So just feeling a sense of groundedness in this forward fold with this hip space. And then coming out of there, we'll take the fingertips behind us. I'm just going to turn to one side for this view. So take the fingertips behind you, turning slightly outwards towards the corners of your mat. Draw the shoulder blades together so you've got lovely engagement there. I would just keep the head neutral, so just look forward here. And then depending on how you feel flexibility wise, you can start to lift the hips up higher, balancing on the kind of shin calf area and into the feet. So you might be able to get quite high with this. Some of you might feel comfortable with dropping the head back. Just see how you go. Everyone's different. If you're not sure about it, just keep your head in this neutral position. Lovely long length of spine. And then come down to a seated position. I'll just turn to the front and we'll flip the legs the other way. Flipping the legs the other way. That's it. There we go. And then let's do some more arms here. This time we'll do a twist. So here we go. One hand to knee, the other hand behind. Lengthen up through the top of the head, jawline back slightly. Breathe into this space. And then taking a twist the other way. Coming to center, we'll go into some eagle arms here. So elbow into elbow, hands into hand, and then elbows out, hands away. We'll do a little lift and work down. A little lift and down. Feeling this at the back of the shoulders, especially around that trapezius area or between the shoulder blades. And then opening out. We'll do the other side, elbow into elbow, hand into hand, forearms out and away, and here we go, lift. Couple more here, breathe with it. And opening up, we'll go into our Janurasana legs this way. Excuse me. Flex the foot, have a little bit of a wriggle on the hips. Sit down, boy. And then just see how you feel into this calf and hamstring. Flexing the foot. That's it. And you might want to take hold of the edge of the foot. Just don't compromise through the middle back when you do this. So if it feels like it's pulling through the middle back, then come a little bit more upright. And then lifting up, we'll take a twist over the bent leg here, opposite hand to knee. Find that focus point, lengthen up through the top of the head, jawline back, we breathe into it. And then to center, we'll take the goalpost shape here, keep a flexed foot, and then direct this elbow down towards the knee. You might get into the inner side of the knee here, and then start to take this hand up and over, finding your own range. I would just keep the head nice and neutral. So neutral meaning just following that gentle curve of the spine and into the neck as well. And if you're not sure, just look down. Seeing how this feels at the side of the hip here and into the side of the rib cage. And then placing the hand here just behind as we reverse this Janu legs, looking up for a new perspective, flexing the foot, feeling the openness of the chest, breathing into this space here. And then coming back to center, we'll fold this leg in. Now, I meant to do the spins before we started that, but I'll put them in here now. So hands to knees and then spin here and see how this feels into this hip space. And then I'm not really pushing the knees down, but you'll find that that as you move the body, the knees will want to work down, getting into this space. Find focus point beyond screen, perhaps. And then we'll do some spins the other way. And then let's plant the hands here down on the floor to open up the back of the pelvis, a deeper hip stretch here as well. Some of you might fold your arms and forehead down to your wrists here. Let's hold it, breathing into the back of the pelvis. So deep full body breaths will help you to open up that space some more. And if your forehead is down, you might close your eyes for a moment. And then we'll come back up to center. I'm just going to turn to the side to demo this one. So it's what we did the other side. Fingertips pointing out towards the corners of the mat, and we roll the shoulder blades together to engage between the shoulder blades to broaden across the collarbones. Keep your sort of head neutral, looking forward or slightly up to where the ceiling and wall meet. And then if you feel open to it and your hips will allow it, then you can balance on the shins and lift the hips here to get into this hip opening space. You might be more comfortable just seated here, still engaging between the shoulder blades. And then coming up to a seated position, and I'm just going to turn it to front here. So you're quite warmed up for fire log, which is quite an intense hip opener. So you might skip this bit, but if you would like to do it, then draw the ankle out a little bit that's underneath you, and then the one that's on top, just place this ankle here on the top of the knee, flex the foot, And then just turn the palms facing upwards, connect index finger and thumb. And just let gravity open up this hip space. You can, of course, lean a little bit more forward, but just be aware that everything should come from the pelvis here. We just have a quiet 5 breaths. Closing your eyes if you wish. You could find that you just want to sit there a little longer, opening up the hip space some more. I will change for now though. So we just change the cross-legged position. The underneath ankle comes out a little bit so that basically knee and ankle stack. Place the other ankle on top, flex the foot, flex both feet actually, it's better for the knees. Just check both sit bones feel nicely balanced on the floor. You might find your knee a bit higher. Don't worry about that. Just let gravity open it up. Sit up nice and tall. Let's turn the palms facing upwards. Gaya Mudra. Connect index finger and thumb here. Soften the shoulders. Hinge at the hips. Lean forward. You might be a lot more forward than me. And let's close our eyes if you wish and have a quiet 5 to 6 breaths. And again, you might just choose to have a little bit longer in that posture. We've done maybe just under a minute. You might want to do 3 minutes or longer. Release out of there. And then we're going to go into child position to rest. So coming out of there onto knees. And then you might have your knees together as you go into child. I'm going to separate quite wide for bump, and you can do the same as well. This is sort of known as there's lots of names: goddess posture, humble warrior, child with wide legs. So knees together or wide, and then I would take the arms out of it. Just fold here, forearms to the floor. Make sure forehead is connected to your wrists here. Close your eyes and then just sink these hips down onto heels. Breathe nice big breaths into the body and feel the breath at the tummy connect with the thighs. And just allow yourself to switch off after that mini practice. Just taking some quiet time. Lengthening the lovely exhale to tap into our rest and digest. Finding our lovely calm breath. Opening up through the back of the pelvis. And you might drift off a little. You might feel that lovely sense of calm. You might even feel like your breath stops. You feel space and silence. And gently bringing ourselves up onto forearms from our head being low. And then coming back up onto hands here. And then very slowly opening our eyes, coming to a kneeling position and pairing our hands here to heart center. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.